Now, this is exciting as Patrik Allvin reveals key details around the Vancouver Canucks, including a huge change coming to Adam Foote's offense, which has fans fired up. But not only that, the Vancouver Canucks make multiple moves today by reassigning a AHL player to the main club in the Vancouver Canucks and placing two players on injuries. We're going to break down these multiple moves that Patrik Allvin today, including a fan favorite that has fans fired up. But not only that, this key detail on the lines going into game one and this one change that fans have been wanting for the years. We're going to break down all this and so much more in this episode, so you're not going to want to miss it. But let's just dive straight into it today, where we know the Canucks went through quite a few injuries last season. We know Thatcher Demko didn't start the season with the Vancouver Canucks. Well, we do get two more players placed on injuries today. The first one coming from Allvin, saying Blueger is expected to be out for another week, injured Friday against the Oilers in their preseason game. Now, losing Blueger is hard on this Canucks team, a team that wants center depth, a team that needs center depth, but Coots coming into the lineup, making his debut. It is awesome to see that we're getting another center injected to this lineup and not having to do too many mix and matches with the lines, with Blueger out. It doesn't seem like a long-term injury, so we are expecting to get him back at some point next week. Now, going further into this, where we get a second update before we get into this move that has fans fired up, we're going to break down the fact that Patrik Allvin also announces that Joseph has been placed on IR. Now, we've seen him and Derek Forbort kind of nursing injuries going through the preseason. We didn't see Joseph practice with this group for the past couple of days, and now he is going to be placed on IR until September 30th. Now, the big thing with this, the Vancouver Canucks would have to make a move in order to get a compliant roster, unless they wanted to run a 22-man. But the big thing is we do see Patrik Allvin announces today that Victor Mancini has been recalled from Abbotsford to the NHL. Now, Mancini is a topic that I've seen the comments, I've seen social media, and I do tend to agree with a lot of this as well. Is a player that deserved to be on this team. His dominance during the preseason, his dominance during camp, everything Mancini has done has proven that he is an NHL talent and ready to make the jump. Now, the big thing with Mancini, and a big reason why he was set down, was Joseph would have had to clear waivers if Allvin wanted to send him to the AHL. Sending Mancini down, he was going to get a bigger sample size. He would have got top line minutes or top pairing minutes. He would have played a bit, but with Mancini joining this group as now the seventh defenseman for a bit of the future, we're going to see how Mancini gets into this lineup. And with Derek Forbort still practicing, but might not be 100%, we may see Mancini go straight into the debut going into Thursday's game. Now, a great prospect, or a player I should say, we've seen stints in the NHL. He is ready to make the jump, and this is where we finally get a look at what the Vancouver Canucks will be running going into game one. Now, with this, shout out to Brandon Batchelor as well for putting this on social media. Tuesday, Canucks lines, we see DeBrusk, Petey, and Boeser. Now, this is a big thing that we've seen all offseason. We've seen the trio of three of these guys playing together. You can see the second line, Baines, Hedl, and Garland. I know fans are not going to be too happy with this, but I do think Baines gets an opportunity. He has high work ethic. He can get into the corners. He played great in the AHL playoffs last year, so getting him on the line with Hedl and Garland is going to be interesting. The third line, I am absolutely in love with. The Vander Kane, Coots, and Lekramaki. The two young kids with the grizzled veteran coming in with a mean grit to their line, and Jonathan Lekramaki's shot. This line is going to be very intriguing going into game one, with O'Connor, Ratu, and Sherwood coming in on the fourth. Now, Linus Karlsson is the extra, and I do expect him and Baines to kind of bounce back and forth between lines, but with this, the defense is pretty much set with Mancini now joining the group and an absence of Blueger. Now, going further into this, we do get a quote from Patrik Allvin, which fans, including myself, could not be happier for. Adam Foote wants to play a little more aggressive, more puck hunting, more pressuring pucks, and being quicker out of the zone and activating our D a little bit more. Now, the big thing with the Canucks and the Rick Tocchet system that we had to go through last season was a lot of dump and chase hockey. We'd see them break in through the line, put it into the corner, lose the puck back the other end, and rinse and repeat. But it does seem like this is a style that we've seen work with the Florida Panthers in the finals last year, activating the defense. You have the fast defenseman. Even Tyler Myers has shown that his draft legs can get up in the rush at points. This is a team that's going to be a lot more aggressive on offense. I think with the personnel they have, going through, we're going to see it a lot more, and I do truly like this group the Canucks are going in with. I've talked about it a bunch, but having Mancini is up is awesome. We're seeing a slight change to the forwards, but it does get even better when you're diving deeper into this. Now, going further in, the Vancouver Canucks, which a lot of people looked at and said, hey, a smaller team, a team that's going to be thrown around, do go up in size, and they're a team that is very young. From Jeff Patterson and from the NHL, you can see coming in at 7th youngest in the league on opening night roster, an average height of 6'1", average weight of 191, and average age of 27.6. This is a very good, skilled, and young Vancouver Canucks team that's not a small size. Yes, there's some small players within the lineup. Jonathan Leckmack, a little lighter and a bit shorter. Conor Garland probably drops the average height down quite a bit, but this Canucks team is going to play with a new style, a new grit, and I think everything is going to unfold with a younger team hungry to go out, prove a point, prove the haters wrong, and go on a run. I do truly like what this Canucks team is building. And once again, yes, the heights are going to go up because 6'7" Tyler Myers probably does counterweight the Garland at 5'7", 5'8", or 5'9". But the biggest thing with this Canucks team is you have the talent, you have the hungry young guys, and I couldn't be more excited to see them continue. Now with the forwards, we're seeing a lot of the power plays come through. We can see Jake DeBrusk, Evander Kane, Boeser, Petey, and Hughes. This top line or top power play unit is going to be dominant. Evander Kane being added to this, DeBrusk and Boeser with their shots, Petey with his shot and playmaking, and Quinn Hughes, the best defenseman in the NHL's recipe for success. But going into the second unit, which I'm very intrigued and excited about, is Coots, Chytil, Garland, Lekkerimäki, and Hronek. Now with this group, you're getting a lot. Coots and Chytil are going to be guys that can move the puck around. We know Lekkerimäki has a cannon of his shot. We've seen it in the preseason games, especially against the Oilers, which we love to see the Canucks beat. Garland's going to add a presence of grittiness to it, and Hronek, once again, a very good defenseman that can move the puck, has a cannon of the shot, and I cannot wait to see especially the second unit in works, as this could be the mold of something big. Now with Cooch, yes, there is the 9-game sample size where we don't know if he's going to stay the entire season or if he's going to be sent back before the ELC burns off his contract, but having Coots in a bigger role is going to be awesome. We're going to see him headline the center position on the third line going into game one, which is awesome. You're going to see him be able to show his defensive responsibility, his offense, his puck movement, everything in between. I think the line mates he's going to be playing with is awesome with the shot and grittiness. But one guy in particular that I'm super psyched for, and if you're not new to the channel, you know Jonathan Lekkerimäki. I might be his biggest fan. Lekkerimäki is finally getting a chance to prove himself. Last year with Rick Tocchet, listen, I don't want to harp on Rick Tocchet. I do think he's a good coach, just didn't fit the Canucks as their mold. But I do think with Jonathan Lekkerimäki finally not being a fourth line player and getting into the middle six, second power play unit, he's truly going to be able to show off the offensive talent within this group. He's going to be able to go out and show why he had 19 goal seasons in the Swedish Hockey League all the way to Abbotsford, and he's going to translate this straight into the NHL as he's going to work himself into an elite goal scorer on a Canucks team on an ELC, which makes things even better. But Canucks fans, what is your thoughts on this? What is your thoughts about the new look lines? What is your thoughts on this power play unit? What is your thoughts on Victor Mancini coming up? Because I know fans are going to be fired up. The Moose is loose in Vancouver once again. But let us know down in the comments. And speaking on comments, let's go straight into comments today. Coming through with the Celebrini and Bedard come home. Listen, this is a dream, and it actually could happen someday. It's going to be a few years because both guys on ELCs will have to sign their second contracts. Hopefully get them straight into being a UFA with Vancouver having cap space. Maybe both return home, because two of them with Jonathan Lekkerimäki, Coots, I couldn't even think of how good this team could be. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments. You could be featured on Comment of the Day. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back in another episode, so keep your eye for that. But I've been your host, Mark, and take care, Canucks fans.